you to worship? So that was another good question, and that's another point that proves Jesus was ignorant of.
No one's talking, so I'm not sure if we're supposed to go to the next question, or if I'm supposed to respond to this. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes, sorry for that. Alright, I have a question for the Muslim speaker. Thank you very much. Since you tried to debate why Jesus is not God, can you read for me from your own book, Surah 9, verse 31? And let me see. Why does it say there that, well, according to my understanding, okay, it says, when I read it, they have taken their rabbis and monks, okay, as their lords, besides God and the Messiah, son of Mary. So, besides God and the son of Mary, you see, and you are debating that he is not. Can you explain that? Thank you.
Okay, sure, I can explain that, although that's off topic. The topic says according to the 4 biblical Gospels. But anyway, he's talking about Surah 9, verse 31. They have taken the rabbis, basically God is condemning them for paganism, something the biblical God doesn't do. As my opponent said, he just remains silent if his prophet is worshipped. Surah 9, verse 31, they have taken their rabbis and monks as their lords beside God and the Messiah, son of Mary. Assyrian, you need to learn Arabic, because first of all, it's not a complete sentence connected with it right after when it says, and the Messiah, son of Mary. That's a continuation of condemning them. They have taken the rabbis and monks as the lords beside God, period. And then it goes on to condemn the others and the Messiah, son of Mary. They also took him as a God. Furthermore, there's also something called context. This is so pathetic that you want to use a sentence against the entire context of the Quran. The Quran, the context, always condemns the worship of Jesus and his mother. So now you want us to believe that this verse supposedly says we should worship him? Who are you trying to kid? You're abusing the Arabic and you're abusing the context. I mean, that's just a joke. There are verses after verses in the Quran that says, don't worship Jesus. Let's come to an understanding. There's only one God. Don't say three, etc., etc. But now he wants to isolate this Arabic grammar, which he doesn't even properly understand, and he wants to make an argument. This is a Trinitarian for you, ladies and gentlemen. They use one entire verse to determine an entire context, even though the context speaks against it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Thanks for demonstrating my point, which I've been trying to make through this entire debate. Context.
Well, I don't have any comment on the Quranic verse he cites himself. I do have some comment on what Mr. Zaatari said. Mr. Zaatari made fun of this questioner for using one verse to destroy the entire context of the Quran. That is exactly what Mr. Zaatari is doing by picking one verse from the end of the Gospel of John to destroy the entire context of the New Testament. The entire context of the New Testament teaches that Jesus is God. One verse saying that Jesus is the Son of God, which he is, does not destroy the entire context. So Mr. Zaatari is just being hypocritical by using this whole context argument.
Who's the next? Is it Muslim or Christian, Mkvine? Who's the next, please? Muslim or Christian? Muslim, alright. Bro Salafi, let me undote him. Pro Salafi. Where is the Pro Salafi? Yes, here. Remove the red dot. Pro Salafi, do you hear me? Tape 1, please. Yes, alright. I will let Oxalay. I have been asked Oxalay in the text. He don't respond to me. I have been PM him in the text, if you look to the room up. Salafi, mic is yours. Oxalate, please PM me, if you hear me.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. I got a couple of quick statements and then a question. The first is, in Daniel 7, it doesn't say worship, it says obey. It says obey. It's the Hebrew word. It's the Hebrew word of Paltalk, which means to obey and serve. So it doesn't say that he worshipped him. And also in Genesis 18, you said that God appeared to Abraham. God did not appear to Abraham. Angels appeared to Abraham. And the angels went to Sodom. 2 of the angels went to Sodom. Let me show you the verse right here. And he called them lords. He called them lords. Also in Genesis 33, Jacob bows to Esau. In Genesis 33:6, and he calls him Lord. Jacob calls Esau Lord. And so in Genesis 18, it does not call him God. The explanations in Genesis 19, you said it said Yahweh to Yahweh. These two Yahwehs are angels. These two Yahwehs are angels. In Daniel 7, it doesn't say obey. Now, my question to you is this. This is my question. In Isaiah, the verse you keep using in Isaiah, it says, an Alma will give birth. An Alma will give birth. And the word Alma is not virgin. The word Alma is a girl who just came on her menstrual cycle. It's not a virgin. The second a girl has her first menstrual cycle, she's a virgin. And we're to believe that God had begot a son. God begot a son with an Alma, right? God has begotten a son with an Alma. The word begotten is the Hebrew word yalad, which means procreate. So it's saying that God procreated a son with Alma. Okay, here's my question. My question is, in Romans 1:3, it says that Jesus is the sperma of David. Sperma meaning seed, right? Jesus is the sperma.
Okay, you went way over time there, but let me just answer your questions. Okay, first of all, you said the two Yahwehs are angels. That's impossible. Genesis 19, not 18. Just 19 says, then Yahweh rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Yahweh out of heaven. These are not angels. Angels are never called Yahweh. Angels are sometimes called Elohim. They are never called Yahweh. And I did not refer to Genesis 18 for the Lord appearing to Abram. I referred to Genesis 15, and that's when in Genesis 15:2 Abram says, "Oh Yahweh God," to the word of Yahweh. As for the other things you said, oh yeah, in Daniel 7 you said the Hebrew there actually indicates simply serving, not worship. Look at the context, look at what the high priest says to Jesus when he cites Daniel 7. The high priest tears his robes and says that's blasphemy because he knows that Jesus citing Daniel 7 is claiming to sit at the right hand of God and be worshipped. That's why the high priest tears his robes, which is forbidden by the Old Testament, tears his robes and yells blasphemy because he knows that Jesus Christ is claiming deity because he claims to be the Son of Man who is worshipped and sits at the right hand of the Father. Now as for Isaiah chapter 7, the Hebrew word is Alma. There are two Hebrew words which can possibly mean virgin. That's Alma and Betula. Alma never in the Hebrew Bible refers to non-virgin. Betula sometimes does refer to non-virgin, so Alma is the best word that Isaiah could have used if he wanted to convey virgin. In fact, it is Jewish translators before Jesus Christ who translated Alma as virgin, and the context indicates that it is a royal figure, and for a royal woman not to be a virgin means she loses her royalty. So automatically, this clearly means that in the context of Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14, it clearly refers to the virgin birth of Jesus Christ. And as a Muslim, I don't even know why you're asking this, considering you believe in the virgin birth of Christ.
Yeah, that was a good point by the brother. In Daniel 7, it actually says